Coming up on Vegas Nation Blitz, unpacking the loss to the Colts. We sift through a blowout to highlight some positives.
We need to keep practicing. Even though it's a lousy situation in the fourth quarter, we're still practicing our football and trying to get better and get right for the next game. And it's unfortunate that it turned out that way, but we're going to do everything we can to keep taking advantage of all the opportunities we get.
Head coach Pete Carroll not giving up hope just yet as the Raiders get set to host the Tennessee Titans.
I know that we're going to come together. I have no hesitation in saying that. I just wish it was sooner than later. And so we're going to keep plugging away, and our guys are practicing hard, and they care, and the leadership is good, and they're solid, and they're keeping our guys' heads in the right place, and we're counting on turning this thing. You know, if you could take a lesson, let's learn the lesson that the Aces taught us. You know, they were struggling, and then they won 16 in a row, and look where they are now. You know, and so things can turn, and that's the only way I've ever known it. So that's the only expectation I have.
So let's recap last week and get you set up for this week's action. Vegas Nation Blitz starts right now.
Powered by the Las Vegas Review-Journal, this is Vegas Nation Blitz. Presented by D&R House of Diamonds, making luxury affordable. Located in the One Summerlin building in downtown Summerlin.
Hello, welcome into Vegas Nation Blitz. I'm your host, Dominic Lavoie. The Raiders losing a doozy on Sunday, but to rip the Band-Aid off and look at some top stories coming out of that game, we're going to bring in Raiders beat writer Vinny Bonsignore.
Well, the Raiders are back to work here at the practice facility in Henderson, and really, as we sit here on Wednesday looking ahead to the Tennessee Titans and coming off another loss, the fourth straight to the Indianapolis Colts, you know, there's a lot of reasons why the Raiders are in the predicament that they're in, but you cannot overlook the role that Geno Smith has played in these losses. He just hasn't played good football, and it really goes beyond just the interceptions. He got 9 to lead the NFL, and I don't believe or sense that Geno Smith is down on himself or lacks any confidence right now. And honestly, that's the kind of quarterback that the Raiders are going to need moving forward. They don't need Geno Smith to be doubting himself or playing with bad thoughts in his head, or looking over his shoulder, or worried about what's going on Twitter, or worried about what's going on in terms of being benched. He needs to go out there and be Geno Smith, and he says that he is, and he will remain so, and that's going to be one of the keys to getting this turned around. Well, has to happen pretty quick, and this Tennessee Titans game is as close to a must-win as the Raiders are going to face. It's a bad football team that's, you know, really rebuilding right now around a young quarterback in Cam Ward. There's a defense out there that's susceptible to the type of things that the Raiders do well. So for Geno Smith to get that confidence restored, not necessarily restored or rewarded, it's got to start this week against the Tennessee Titans.
All right, now let's take a look at the Raiders' defense. Now, even through the team's struggles, this group has been getting some flowers this season. This squad is tied with the Washington Commanders for second in the NFL in tackles for a loss at 30, behind the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at 33. And Max Crosby, who's been a game wrecker all year for Vegas, per usual, is tied with Myles Garrett of the Browns for the league lead in that category with 8. And now to the offense. No, we're not going to talk about Geno Smith. We're going to talk about one of his weapons or his receivers, Dante Thornton Jr. For a while now, the Raiders have been trying to quote-unquote play fetch, as Adam Hill called it in the preseason with Thornton. Now he's shown some flashes here and there. The rookie wideout has 5 catches in 5 games for a total of 94 yards, but those 5 catches are on 16 targets. Now Thornton has had a handful of drops this year, plus on Sunday against the Colts, his not coming to the ball led to an interception. Now, Geno Smith did speak about that pick post-game on Sunday.
The other one is a classic zone coverage. They're blitzing off the slot, playing cover 2. We got, you know, an option route. I know he's got to push up and sit. He's got to be quick. I mean, this is the NFL. Again, we're playing. I got a rookie receiver. We got to develop him. You know, we got to learn. And it's not Dante's fault. It's not anyone's fault. It's life. And so what I'm doing here is I'm learning a lot, you know, through these experiences. And as I go through life, you know, I really enjoy that part of it, is that the experiences are what's going to make me better. So somewhere down the line, we're going to look back at this and say, you know, those moments made us better.
And after those comments landed Geno Smith in some hot water on social media, he revisited them at the podium Wednesday.
I call him late night sometime just to remind him that, hey, man, you're the guy, and we're counting on you. So Dante's doing a great job. He's learning, as we all are, and he's getting better from week to week. That's all you can ask from him. He's taking the right approach, and, you know, it's gonna click, you know, here soon. It's gonna click, and I really believe that.
And Ashton Jeanty has been turning some heads in the past game lately. A pair of catches and 2 touchdowns against the Bears, followed by 5 catches for 42 yards Sunday in Indy, with his longest coming early in the game, a 25-yard wheel route. Here's Jeanty on getting his receiving game going.
Definitely feels good, and I'm hoping to continue to build on that and keep showcasing my ability to catch the ball out the backfield.
And for more roster updates, the Raiders in fact released Jermaine Pratt. Pete Carroll announcing on Monday. Pratt did not travel with the team to Indianapolis for Week 5 for non-injury reasons. In replacement, the Raiders brought in linebacker John Radigan, who has experience under Pete Carroll. The Raiders head coach speaks on the addition, as well as adding linebacker Jamin Davis to the practice squad.
Johnny Radigan's a really good football player, and he's always been a guy in the middle of your teams that's been effective and tough and aggressive and all of that. You know, West Point grad and all that. He's the real deal, and we've loved him when we had him. So when we had a chance to pick him, off somebody else's team, we did it. And so also Jamin Davis came in today, and I'm excited to see him. He has been out for a while, but he's got a lot of history in the plays that he's made. I see a lot of potential in him, and I'm anxious to see what we can do with that.
The Raiders also released Jeff Driscoll from the practice squad. Moving to the injury front now, Carroll continued Wednesday about some injury updates, along with speaking on Brad Robbins, the punter who was brought into the practice squad after A.J. Cole was injured against the Colts.
Eric Stokes going to be practicing today, which we're fired up about. Michael Mayer will be out there today. Get him back. AJ's not going to kick today, but he's planning on kicking on Friday, and we'll see how that goes. So we'll report back on that. Brad Robbins is in today with us. He's a punter that will punt for us during the week, and we'll see how AJ does. And then we're working on that with our backup guys.
And for Brock Bowers.
I'm waiting for him tomorrow. Okay, I'm okay. He'll do some walkthrough stuff, and he'll be in the game plan knowing what's going on. So if he gets a chance to play, then he'll be ready to go as best we can in that regard. So, but I'm a little more optimistic than other people, and so I'm going day to day. Makes me feel better.
Man, oh man, what an opening, huh? So real quick, we're going to take a break, but on the other side, we're going to get the one thing on Heidi Fang's mind and some fast takes from Adam Hill. Stay tuned.
DNR House of Diamonds is Las Vegas's elite private office jeweler. We specialize in natural and lab-grown loose diamonds, engagement rings, and custom design. If you're looking for lab-grown diamonds, we have one of the largest selections at the best prices in Las Vegas. We make luxury affordable every day.
All right, now let's take a look into the mind of Heidi Fang as she shares one thing she's thinking about this week.
Thanks, Dom. I keep hearing that it's time to look at other options other than Geno Smith at quarterback for the Raiders. So is it time to start Kenny Pickett? My answer, not yet. If the Raiders head into their home turf Sunday and can't get past the Titans, maybe that's an option head coach Pete Carroll turns to in Week 6. Maybe it's an option midway through the game should the contest have the makings of another blowout. But will he be the answer to the Raiders' offensive woes? Not sure. But I do believe it's time to get another younger player more involved. One in particular on my mind, Jack Besh. While his performance on Sunday in Indianapolis did not provide the silver and black the spark that they needed, he could prove to be a safety valve of sorts for Geno Smith on Sunday. Look, the Raiders are not out of the race yet in the AFC West. No one is running away with the division, but they haven't shown much that would make anyone believe that they're playoff contenders. In 2021, a wise man named Hunter Renfrow once said, after a 48-9 loss to the Chiefs, there's nothing against us winning 5 in a row and sneaking into the playoffs. That team won 4 in a row and snuck into the playoffs. So not all is lost yet, but the offense certainly needs to jumpstart their motor somehow, some way. And that's one thing I'm watching this Sunday. Back to you, Dom.
And now for his fast takes, here's Adam Hill.
If there's been one consistent area of the Raiders over the last couple of years, it has been their special teams. Of course, that is largely because of A.J. Cole, Daniel Carlson, 2 All-Pros. But the rest of the group has been pretty good too under Tom McMahon, and that's not happening right now, and that's a big reason why the Raiders are really, really struggling with 4 straight losses, and they got blown out this week in Indianapolis. Sure, the offense needs to be better, the defense needs to be better, but the special teams needs to be better too. A lot of that is Mike Mayer being gone. His spot on the protection units has been victimized twice in a row with a block kick and a block punt. 2 major plays the last 2 weeks. He's back. That will help, but it's got to be the entire group getting better. And that means A.J. Cole getting healthy after getting injured with that block punt last week. They did bring in just a replacement just in case, but A.J. trending toward maybe being able to play this week, despite as bad as it looked last week. But they've got to get their guys back, and they've got to get better at protections. They brought in a couple of new linebackers. I think they're going to help on special teams as well. Pete Carroll talks about getting the defensive players out there instead of so many offensive players. That'll help with the tackling and the lanes and the integrity of the coverage and that sort of thing. But it's just got to be better. That's the bottom line. Tom McMahon's group has to find ways to improve, not only on the kicks, not only on punts, but all over special teams.
All right, that'll do it here for Vegas Nation Blitz. Thank you all once again for tuning in, and make sure to return later on this week, Saturday to be specific, for Vegas Nation Game Day to get set up for the Titans game. Plus, to hold you over until then, make sure to follow us on social media at Vegas Nation or follow along on the web at vegasnation.com. And don't forget to tune in to the Vegas Nation First and 10 podcast on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Now, once again, thank you all for hanging out with us. Take care, and I'll see you all next time.
Powered by the Las Vegas Review-Journal, this is Vegas Nation Blitz. Presented by D&R House of Diamonds, making luxury affordable. Located in the One Summerlin building in downtown Summerlin.